Hi, welcome to Living in the Light, and I'm Mary Amy. And today is Sunday. I'm here on the weekend, and I'll explain to you in just a moment. I'm all about shifting away darkness, guiding you to your true potential, and cracking open that beautiful glowing light. Welcome to the fifth dimension. Hello, hello, hello. Have you climbed out of the matrix? Has your memory come back? I know we had our memories wiped clean. Here we were living in all these systems, the political, the medical, the education, the history. Now, what's true exactly? Well, we're finding out a lot of it is fake news. All right, so today it's Sunday. Now, I know that I had posted I would be doing a video. I guess it was maybe Friday, then I pushed it to Saturday, and here I am on Sunday. Well, that's because on Friday, I was out in the matrix searching for another job. So it looks like I have basically job 2-3, we could say. And that's fine. So I have a day job and I have a night job. And you also know that I was recovering this past week because I shared with you I had that procedure related to kidney stones. And so it's been kind of me getting up and moving forward. I have to tell you, though, it's interesting. I am feeling better and healthier than I did before the procedure. So, yay! I'm so excited. So this morning I rallied and got up and went to the gym, and here I am. So today is September 24th. And one of the topics that I had was basically based on yesterday, September 23rd, because yesterday was the fall equinox. It's the beginning of fall. It's going from light to darkness. That's one of our topics. Also, we are going to cover global reset. Are we about to reset our currency? And what does that mean? Are we going to have a completely new financial system? I'm going to get into that. And quantum computing. Also, I want to bring up these aliens. Now, we've talked about aliens in the past, haven't we? And I've brought up aliens, and I've brought up, well, extraterrestrials, we should say, and spaceships, etc., etc. And on September 14th, it went out through the mainstream media, go figure, USA Today even published that there was this press conference in Mexico about these aliens that were discovered from Peru. So we're going to get into that. Now, before we do that, what do I always say? Well, I'm going to mention the three imperative topics, or I guess messages that I want to share with you, that I share every single time I do a video because I find it important. Also, we're going to mention angels and psychic phenomenon at the very end. If you want to come back at the very end, usually when I hit the 1 hour mark, we do some kind of psychic phenomenon, real life phenomenon, clear sense exercise. Okay, so what do we say? How are your dreams? Did you have any sleeping dreams last night? Now, why is that important? You might think, doesn't matter what I'm dreaming about, but it does, because whatever is coming into your system, into your vessel, into one of your something emotional, something physical, something mental, something spiritual is meant for you, because you are operating on a specific vibrational frequency. You are. It's like your ID, just like your name. My name is Mary, right? I'm coming from New York Live right here in this moment. And I am carrying around with me some kind of vibrational frequency. And that is how I attract certain people, places, things, situations, circumstances into my life. Now, as we grow and transform and transmute and transition into the best version of you. And that is why I'm here, because we are together discovering what is the best version of you. Now, we're not going to stay stagnant, are we? We are going to grow. We are going to morph into this amazing being. And how are we doing that? Because we have a specific DNA blueprint that we were born with, and we are activating our DNA. And we've gotten into that. So back to your dreams. When you have a sleeping dream, I suggest you have like a pad of paper next to your bed. Maybe you go out and buy an official dream journal. And you know that I have one online. You can buy it on Amazon that I wrote. There's an introduction, and there's enough for 100 entries. So what were my dreams last night? Well, I had some kind of phenomenal dream last night. And it wasn't until I had left my home and I was driving. I went to church this morning and I went to the gym as well, like I said. all of a sudden, eureka, I remembered my dream. I don't know, something flashed in. Maybe I was really caught up in just taking care of these plans that I had for today, but I remembered my dream. Have I written it down yet? No, but if I don't, I'm going to forget it. So did you have any dreams? Hey, Bob Harding. Hey, Trident. Happy Sunday, family of light. I'm so happy you're here. And I am apologizing. I don't know if you just joined me. I'm sorry. I was the whole week. I was like, oh my gosh, I have these topics planned. I had them planned Friday. And like I said, I went out and I interviewed for a job Friday evening. And now I have a job. So that was taken. Then yesterday I had some personal family situations that I had to follow through on. And so here I am Sunday morning. And today it's like, what? Well, it's not morning anymore. It's 1:21. Okay, so your dreams, write them down. Write down the date, the time, a little synopsis, a little description, and what was your emotion? Now, our dreams, our sleeping dreams will take us into maybe the astral realm when we're sleeping, maybe through a particular situation that you encountered in your real life. There might be a number of individuals from your life, positive and negative, that show up in your dreams. Maybe they come through. I've had some dreams over and over through the years with the same people, and I'm like, enough of this. I don't want it anymore. Can I release it? Can I please release it? Well, hopefully we do. We move on. So pay attention to your dreams. That's one. Two, our thoughts are very powerful. We can alter outcomes through our thoughts. When you wake up in the morning, are your thoughts like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited about the day. I can't wait for it to start. Or are you begrudgingly like, oh gosh, oh no, not another day. Well, guess what? If you have that, oh gosh, oh, not another day, what's going to happen? It's not going to be a very fun day, is it? Now, I know our thoughts matter, because if our thoughts are not taking us into some kind of extraordinary adventure, when things aren't all settled, like if you're projecting every single outcome, there's no room for life, is there? You can't ever have a great experience if you're pinpointing, okay, I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do that, and this is how it's going to go. Have a loose plan. You want to have fun. We're here to have fun, aren't we? And then third, I want to say our intention. Our intention hopefully is to have a wonderful outcome, a commitment to do our best. All right, so let's get on it. Oh, thanks everyone, whoever's liking the videos. What's everyone saying? I just now was physically, what does it say? Physically about to get out of, oh, really? Okay, well, there you go. You're joining me and you're getting out of bed. I don't know. Where are you coming from, Trident? I have my little cheat sheet here. I know you're on here, and I'm not going to take too much time. And everyone that's come through, I always say, where are you coming from? I'm in New York. And we did, by the way, I'm going to mention weather for a second, even though how much of it is done by HARP? How much of our weather is created by the elite cabal? I don't know, but we here on the East Coast, we had quite a bit of rain. And you know what? I'm okay with rain. I love rain. I like dancing in the rain. Do you like rain? I love nature. Okay. We're going to get on to it. So yesterday marked the equinox, the fall equinox, right? And what is that? Well, here's another opportunity. Now, I had been hearing from the truthers online. I watch and listen to these truthers, whether it's in Twitter, there's a lot of them on Twitter, or Rumble, that's where I go to. And then there's also Telegram. So Rumble, you can listen to some of these very, I guess you could say, conspiracy theorists, but they really are rebels like I am and you are, because we are rebels. We know that there's another reality, don't we? So yesterday, the 23rd, I mentioned when I put my topics up, some upcoming dates. So yesterday was, I'm going to also mention October 4th. And what exactly is that? I bet some of you out there know what I'm referring to. Yesterday's the 23rd. So now here we are on the 24th of September. Yesterday marked the first day of autumn. It's a period of struggle between darkness and light. And are we going through that? Well, yeah, out here in the physical reality, there seems to be quite a bit of struggle going on, isn't there? Well, the September equinox was at 2:50 a.m. And during the equinox, the sun crosses the celestial equator, which is an imaginary extension. It's the start of transition between the blooming of summer to the hibernation of the winter. Now, I love seasons. I don't know where you're coming from, but I really love seasons. And here I am in New York, and here we are in fall, then we go to winter, then we go to spring, and then we go to summer. Because for me, it actually helps me to have a new beginning. And I do say when you wake up, and I said, your thoughts are powerful, right? And we can change and control our thoughts. We can be so aware. We have awareness now because we're expanding to a higher consciousness. We have awareness to our thoughts. Are our thoughts, sometimes they consume us, taking us down a road into negativity and darkness. You ever have a bad day and you wake up and you go out into the physical reality, the outer world, and because you're carrying around with you something negative, you're harboring ill will, or maybe you're very much worrying and having anxiety. And then what hits you? What hits you? Negative situations hit you. Maybe someone says something really dark to you, and you're like, oh, while you're driving around, maybe they yell at you, or you might just, maybe you spill something, or you're carrying it. So we want to kind of release as much as we can from the time we wake up. Because why? Because we are trying to get to our destiny, aren't we? And I say that. Our destiny is in this moment. It's not in 20 or 30 or 40 years. Our destiny, we can create it right now here in this moment. And we do that by connecting to the light in our heart. And let's do that right now, the light in our heart. Who else is joining me? It's Michelle Tolbert. Yes, I'm going to get into October 4th. Did you get an emergency alert on your phone? It's going to be on October 4th, guys. No, yep, the emergency alert system. They're saying that. We're going to get into that. All right, so let's just do a little exercise, because you know how I am in the moment when I'm thinking about it, because later I'm not going to remember to do it. So let's take a few seconds to create our destiny in this moment. Now we're not hanging on, holding on to 5 seconds before this. We're not thinking about in an hour. We're right here in this moment together. And the more we do this together, then the more light we're bringing in, the more potential we have, right? So here we are. So what we're going to do is we're going to let go of any tension. Maybe you have to let out a breath. Maybe it's going to come through in words. You're going to just let it out. It's a long, long week we go through. And here we are on Sunday. We're supposed to be having fun by now. So maybe today you're going to have yummy foods. Maybe you're going to sit on the couch and watch a fun show or movie. Maybe you're going to spend time in nature. Or maybe you're going to listen to me for 5 seconds, right? All right, so if you choose to, you close your eyes. Just let out a breath. And we're going to settle down. We're going to put all our weight in our bottom. We're going to remind ourselves to have gratitude in this moment. And when I say gratitude, what do I mean? Thank you. Thank you, I'm alive. Thank you, I'm breathing. I'm a survivor of 2023, and you are too, because you're a beautiful being of light. You're highly advanced, and it doesn't matter where you live, what you look like, what you do, or what you have. You are as is, right here, right now. So we're having gratitude. You are a worthy being right now. So we're reminding ourselves at the base of our spine, our root chakra, we're going to imagine it going deeply into the earth's surface, as well as our feet. We're going to wiggle our toes and imagine them in the soil of the earth, right? Like we are a tree, so we ground ourselves. And we're having gratitude. And if we want to remind ourselves to be in this moment, oh, I have a glass right here. What do you have around you? Elsa is not behind me today. Elsa's over there. She chose not to be here because you know what? That little chair over there, maybe she feels squishy, but I will bring her in a little bit. All right, so now what are we doing? You all know. Reminding ourselves of our breath. And then right in front of us, right here, like we're holding it, what is your destiny? What is it that you want? Is it something material? Have you said like, oh my gosh, I want to have this grand house, or maybe it's a little cottage, or maybe it's a beautiful car, or maybe it's something. Maybe it's something you've never shared with anyone. Whatever it is, I want you to imagine it. Now, for me to imagine it, it's easier for me to close my eyes if you choose to. And what am I seeing when I imagine my destiny? It's my desire, it's my goal, it's something that I think like, oh my gosh, can I ever do it? That's what your destiny is. But if you are imagining it and it's coming into your system, it means that you're capable of attaining it. So let's go to that, whatever it is. What do you see? What are the colors? What are your senses? Who are the people there with you? What's the weather like? As much as you can identify. Whatever it is, how are you feeling? Do you feel joy when you think of this destiny? If you feel joy, then you can manifest it. Now, if you say, oh, I don't think I can do it, that's because you're sabotaging yourself and someone said you couldn't. Well, we have to, okay, so we did that. We have to have belief in us. If we don't have belief in us, do you think anyone out there is? Anyone out there is? You have to realize you to have self-confidence and a willingness to allow yourself to have whatever you want. Now, sometimes we don't really want to share it with anyone out in the physical reality because they might poo-poo it. You might say, oh, guess what? I'm going to get a sailboat. Now, that is one of my humongous goals, to have a sailboat, because I grew up, my father was a sailor. I've shared that with you, personal story, and I will have a sailboat. Now, I don't know how big the sailboat is. I have a vision of it being big. But if I went around there and betcha, if I hit 10 people I know and said, oh, I want a sailboat, someone would be like, oh, that's a great idea, Mary. And then a few might say, come on, you really think you can have a sailboat? So I don't share it with many people because there's a chance they might say, poo-poo it. We don't want to sabotage ourselves, do we? All right, so we did that. We're manifesting our reality, the reality we want, our destiny right here in this moment. All right, so back to the September equinox. It's the harvest of goals and intentions, and that's just what we did, isn't it? And you set or you plant the year starting. How will it be evolving or growing for you? Are you kind of thinking forward, like, what do I want? Where do I want to go? Maybe planning a trip, and you are growing and you're renewing. And we're going from light to warmth. We're going towards introspection and we're returning to darkness and cold. We're hibernating. Now, this September equinox, the fall equinox, is a symbol of new beginnings throughout our lives. So let's have gratitude within us. Let's have gratitude. Oh my gosh, what do you guys say? Trident. Got to get in the shower, but okay, Trident, go take your shower. Hey, Bob Hardy, I will have a sailboat. I will also, oh, okay, maybe we'll meet each other up. We'll meet each other, Bob Hardy. We'll go race our sailboats. My father used to race sailboats. So we have a new gratitude within us. Let's allow ourselves to spend time in nature. And maybe you want to spend time in nature meditating, walking in nature, connecting with your ancestors. And I suggest you do this alone. You also can very well take a walk with a friend. That's nice as well. But from time to time, walk in nature by yourself, because nature will offer a lot of cleansing, whether you realize it or not. When you walk amongst the trees, and if you can, have bare feet on the ground through the grass. You might just sit down by a tree, and I say, if you want to ground yourself, sit by a big, strong, healthy tree, because they have a powerful energy field, because they are deeply rooted in the earth. So we are connecting with our ancestors. We are connecting with the earth right here in this first day, yesterday was, of the fall equinox. Okay. So grateful for everyone joining us here on Sunday. And anyone who is, I hope you like the video and subscribe to the channel. All right. what is going on in the physical reality right now. I just got into some of, yeah, I pray. Yes, that's lovely. You pray. I was just talking about what's been going on. Oh, I want to mention, I just was going to forget. See how my mind goes? This October 4th coming up. Now, what have we been hearing? Well, just on my phone alone, and I'm not really into the technology because I just think of our cell phones as a tracking device, and they're listening to us and they're watching us. However, we can utilize that because then we can have communication with each other, just like here I'm utilizing technology. But I do believe in the not too distant future, we will be able to access each other through our thoughts, through telepathy, because as we are expanding our awareness and reaching a higher consciousness and basically existing in the fifth dimension, we're going to be growing with the earth and transitioning and transforming. They say that we are going to be, our body type is going to move from where it's been to crystalline light. Do you receive ringing in your ears, or at night do you feel like you have some tingling in your arms and legs? Are you having some very unusual dreams and sleep patterns? I hope you've activated. And together, if you haven't yet, it just takes a little bit of practice. When we activate, and we're going to get into that, our clairaudience, our clairvoyance, our clairsustenance, maybe our claircognizance, we eventually will activate, and you'll become a more of a mystical being of light. And so here we are, and we're moving into this place where the world is changing. And that's why I'm bringing up the global reset. What is the global reset going to be? Well, when I say that, it's all the systems. Is the first system to go going to be the financial? Because from there, it kind of trickles down, doesn't it? Because we all are so consumed with money and paying our bills. Hence, I have to have basically 2 to 3 jobs. And I don't know if you do as well, because everything costs so much money. I go to the grocery store and $100 doesn't really take me very far. And so here we are together. We're kind of all going through this. Are we on the brink? We're basically looking over, like we're standing on a cliff, to a new financial system coming through. And is that financial system going to be digital currency, CBDC? Is it going to be BRICS? Is it going to be the quantum financial system? What kind of currency are we about to embark on? How are we going to be able to have an exchange? That's all currency is, right? It's an exchange of energy, just like I'm exchanging energy with you. For example, I go out and get this pen. I give my debit card or I give cash to get this pen. And that's what we're referring to. That's the global reset I'm speaking of. Now we know who this guy is. This guy, I don't think he was such a good guy. Sorry. Flick him. I'm not loving this person. And though, I have to say, I am a being of light, but maybe a reptilian took him over. That's how we can define this. Reptilian, because I don't know if he was really out for us. This is John Rockefeller. And I live close to Manhattan. Every year I go to the Rockefeller tree. There's a lot of landmarks named after this person. But this person was one of those that he was the first billionaire in 1913. And what did he do? He was very much behind these monetary systems, the Federal Reserve. Him and J.P. Morgan were responsible for the Federal Reserve, the IRS. So I don't really think that they were looking out for us so much. Hey, who's that? Leanne. Hi, I haven't seen you in a while. Thanks for joining us. So the global reset. Guess what? I don't know. I think I'm going to crumble him up. I think he's going bye-bye. And what is going to come over and take into place? Now, if I want to show this chart before I kind of break into it. Here's basically the pyramid of manipulation we've been living with. The period of manipulation. And what is on here? Well, we have banking. I mean, because we know that these banks are basically at zero. These banks are flattening out. And I'm going to bring up the U.S. debt clock, or it's called the U.S. debt clock. I looked at that. Business, military, politics, education, media, religion, intelligence agency. Seems like a whole lot of control. How about we just wake up when we're born and we just say, what do I want to be? What do I want to do? And then we come out of our homes and love one another and spend time in nature and grow gardens. And then we transport ourselves with free energy through anti-gravity vehicles, which have already been discovered and invented. It's just that they want to force us to use gasoline so someone owns us. Well, the banks are crashing. Woohoo! The banks are crashing. So the anti-dollar. Now, I've been hearing, is Wells Fargo, Bank of America next? We knew during the months of the spring that there were bailouts. There were banks that went under, Credit Suisse. I'm trying to remember. I can't even recall what the names of those banks were. So we're going to have debt. Are we going to have debt reconstruction? Are they going to try to have debt reconstruction? Or now here is what's called the U.S. debt clock. I don't know if you guys have looked at this. You can look it online. Rockefeller, Trident, Rockefeller. You can look up the U.S. debt clock. And it was funny because I made this one of my topics. I was thinking about it Friday. And then lo and behold, I looked at I took a picture of this and I printed it. And what was added to this in the last 48 hours but BRICS. And BRICS is going to be about gold-backed currency. And BRICS is basically taking away the power of the U.S. dollar. And there's going to be these other nations that are taking over, I guess, in how we are, like what the transfer is going to be. And BRICS is Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South America. So is there going to be debt reconstruction? The global elites have been planning for digital currency. And then what happens? Let's say I decide to do a YouTube video and I want to talk about the globalists, or I want to talk about oligarchs, or I want to talk about medicine, or I want to talk about emergency broadcast system. They might say, you know what? She's not allowed to. And then they wipe out my bank account. That's where we're going. When you tap your credit card or your debit card at a store, you are basically we are giving away our power, because if that turns out to be the system we move to, right, the CBDC, digital currency, we will lose all of our power. But if we all stand up and say, hey, guess what? I don't care about that. I'm going to be free. If we all did that at one time, if we all awakened, like you and I are awakened, if everybody awakened, if everybody across the globe awakened and said, you know what? I'm not listening to these leaders, because guess what? They represent a small percentage of the population. We represent most of the population, the regular Joe. If we stood up and said, I'm not going to do that anymore. I want to be free. I'm not going to pay taxes. I'm into Nasara Jasara. I don't like the IRS. We're taxed on everything. Then things would change. But most of us are not awakened. Like you and I might be awakened, but not everyone out there is awakened. Between here and here. Anyone who's joining us, like the video and subscribe to the channel if you want to. All right, so the global elites have been planning for digital currency, which is a way for them to control us, isn't it? It's a way for them to control us. and continue enslaving humanity to control social and economic freedom. It's a paralysis among the population. The greedy globalists want us to abide by their beliefs and ideas with suffering, loss, and poverty. We aren't going to have it anymore. But guess what? The dollar is worthless at this point. They basically borrowed, and we're on the brink. And maybe that's why BRICS was now added to the US debt clock. The markets are corrupt and broke. Our economic system is barely being propped up. Nations from China, Russia, India, Brazil have been pushing gold-backed currency and BRICS. The US has reigned itself as the world's reserve currency. 93% of the global central banks are exploring having their own digital currency, CBDC. Now, I want to share with you something called quantum financial system. So I decided, let me look into this. I mentioned quantum before. What exactly is that? Well, I spoke about it being where you see transactions on a ledger and it's public and there is no dishonesty, blockchain. But I kind of went down the rabbit hole like I do. And maybe you do as well, because I need to find out exactly what is that. So quantum financial system is based on quantum computing. It's a supercomputer. Now, I think and believe that it might be something that an AI is capable of doing, right? Because that's what a supercomputer. And we know that there's many corporations, the white hats and the black hats both are following AI. Now, when you call up sometimes to pay a bill, you don't get a real person. Why? Because they're relying on an AI. They're relying on some kind of technology to answer questions for customer service. Where we're going is very possibly, and I'm crossing my fingers, to quantum computing. So I'm going to share with you what exactly quantum computing is. So quantum computing is an emerging technology that harnesses the laws of quantum mechanics to solve problems too complex for classical computers. Now, right now, this has been decades. Do I believe they already have this? Yes. I've heard that we have the financial system, and next to it, parallel, is running the quantum financial system. And with a flip of a switch, that might be, maybe it's October 4th. Maybe we're going to go into 10 days of darkness. And October 4th is one of those dates that is coming up. And I received notices on my phone, and I received emails, and maybe you did as well. And on October 4th at 2:20, there's going to be this alert that goes off. And the alert is going to come from our technology, and the alert is going to be allegedly a test. And the test is from the emergency alert system, which was formerly known as the emergency broadcast system. If, in fact, this is coming from the dark side, coming from the elite cabal, there could be a chance that it's going to hurt us. They're going to send it out through 5G towers. And that's my concern. I'm not an alarmist. I want to bring awareness. So my suggestion would be is maybe turn off your phone. Maybe turn off your phone for 2 hours. They say that it's going to run for, I don't even know how long they said. It's going to run for a certain amount of time. I don't remember. I think I spoke about it in the last video. I've heard to probably shut your phone off for 2 hours. Like, I'm just going to do it. Maybe my curiosity would be, I want to leave it on and see what happens. If you've taken any kind of medication, maybe you don't have it on. You just turn it off. Because guess what? We can live without our phones for a few hours. I don't know the effect it's going to have. I've heard from truthers that this is going to affect the individuals who have taken some kind of medication? Is it going to bring on this Marburg virus or Ebola or zombie apocalypse? I heard zombie apocalypse, biting. It's going to trigger some kind of biting. Now, I don't know. It sounds very far-fetched. However, there's so much that I've heard about. Now, have I seen it with my own eyes? No, I haven't. Have I witnessed it while I'm sleeping or remote viewing? Yes. And that is, I've seen the DUMS tunnels. I've seen gold. I've seen children under the ground. I've seen extraterrestrials. Do I believe it to be true? That was coming from another source. It wasn't made up. It's not me sitting here creating something in my mind. And with that, I want to just say, out of precaution, maybe turn off your phone October 4th before 2:20. Just saying. Just saying. LOL, I waited to get on the shower to make sure I heard the part over water. Right? Bob Harding says, right around that time, Germany and France claimed back literally tons of gold out of the U.S. banks a few years ago. Really? Well, they say that 650 planes took back gold from, was it the Crown or the Vatican? I can't remember. Somebody tell me. I can't remember which was it. Was it the Vatican or was it in England, the Queen? Did we take 650 plane loads of gold back? Because we've been enslaved. The monarch has owned us here in the U.S. They've owned us. We've been owned. And as I say, I'm going to get onto the quantum computing, exactly what that is in just 1 second. I just want to share with you. What do I say? For those leaders out there, these leaders are in Washington, D.C. Are they still there? Is it all theatrics? Are they clones? Are they robots? Are they wearing a mask? Have you seen some of their necklines and how it looks like there's some kind of line going around their neck? And it's not really them, or actors playing the roles in Washington? Because I'm going to share with you, from what I know about Washington and the leaders, I see all of these beautifully dressed individuals, and they're wearing fancy clothes, and they're sitting there and they're reading a speech with the teleprompter, and they're talking to all of us. And maybe we see it in person, or maybe we see it on our television through the mainstream media, which is paid programming. Who's paying for it? The advertisers, big pharma, the elites. They're all paying for what we're supposed to be listening to, because we are brainwashed through the news. And they are sending certain frequencies through news channels. Be aware of that. You might get off watching a 1-hour program and you'll be like, oh my God, I have a headache. Oh my God, I feel so negative. Oh my God, I have fear. My heart's racing. I'm so worried. It's not how you're supposed to be. We're supposed to be excited about living every single day. That's all created. So these guys that are in Washington, D.C., I'm hearing that we're going to have the new Capitol be in Texas. But in Washington, D.C., we've been hearing about this president and this vice president and Congress, blah, blah, blah. All these politicians, they all look so beautifully dressed, and they're supposed to be taking care of us. The politicians are our leaders representing us. Now, did we vote them in? Were those legit elections? Did we vote them in? Because guess what? I told you I have a few jobs going on. What do I look like by the end of the day? Do I look all clean and pressed and perfect? No, why? Because I'm working like you're working. How are they taking care of us if they're How are they taking care of us when they look so good all the time? They're not. You can't do that. They're just puppets. They're puppets for someone else. Okay, so quantum computing, what is that exactly? It's kind of exciting when I read about it. And a lot of it I don't really understand. But I went down the rabbit hole because I wanted to find out for myself and I wanted to find out for you. Who's that? What does this say? Light? Who is that? We've got someone new here today. Hello. I'm Mary, coming live from New York. Who is this? Light and Z Productions. Hello, everybody. Paying taxes is not required for the non-U.S. citizens. You are a member of our group, then Lightning Z Productions. Where are you coming from? I'm live from New York. Well, thank you. And if you're new, just so you know, you can see that I did this video a few weeks ago with Michael Edley. You can find it on, I'm just doing a little zippity-doo-dah plug for this. And I did a video and it's cute. And Michael Edley and I are going to actually do a radio show in the near future together. Probably it's going to be once a week. And he's a psychic medium. So I just wanted to say that since you're a newbie, yes, I'm a subscriber. Well, thank you. Thank you for being here. So quantum computing is an emerging technology that harnesses the laws of quantum mechanics to solve problems that have been developed. Now, these have been developed for over 30 years. Now, classical computers cannot solve the same problems. Is there an AI involved? Probably. Advanced hardware with quantum computing. They're considered supercomputers. Why am I bringing this up? Because the quantum financial system is relying on some kind of supercomputer. My guess is, my sense, what's coming through to me, through my senses, is that it's a positive thing, the quantum financial system. Okay, they're capable of running very large calculations. The quantum financial system is unconventional. It's not typical. It's a different monetary system. It solves complex problems and it identifies subtle patterns of fraud. Now, we have been living in a system, our financial system, there's a lot of fraud. They bail out, they bring in money from I don't know where, they donate money out of our country. There is fishiness in the banking system, on the stock market. I watched that movie, Dumb Money. I watched Personal Story. I watched, not last night, Friday night, I went to the movies and I saw this film called Dumb Money. And it was about this store. It was a video store. And it went on to the stock market. It started out as a penny stock. And they shorted it. And this kid who had an emblem of kitty cats, he decided to outwit the system, and he did. He outwit the stock market. You might want to get this movie, go watch it. It's a really good movie. And I don't know how they got it made, but it was interesting because the system, the stock market, is cheating us. And I don't believe that this quantum financial system can cheat. Wow, what are you saying? I joined the channel last month. Well, thank you. We're living not in a fiction, everybody. Name all the caps. It's a cooperation, not country, everybody. They have most. Yes. Well, here we are. And you know what? What do I say? I believe that those that have not awakened, maybe we nudge them a little, maybe we show them something or say something and they say, what are you talking about? And they are more apt lately to be awakened and awakened from this reality that we've been living in, that everything that we see on the television or these laws that are implemented they're just made up. They're just made up. It would be like you and I decided we're going to start a new civilization, which is kind of what we're doing. We are starting a new civilization, and we're doing that. Let's say we decided we're starting a new civilization, and we said, okay, well, here's a whole bunch of a population. We're going to send out a bunch of rules. We're going to send out ways to live, and they all have to follow what we say. And how are they going to do that? Because if they don't do that, they're not going to eat. They're not going to get anywhere. They're going to have some kind of restrictions. Maybe there will be some kind of police. This is not the world that I'm trying to create. I'm trying to share with you how it was created. Now, maybe it was created by Rockefeller. Maybe it was created by one of the bloodlines. They say the Orsini bloodline, the popes. There's 3 popes. What is it? The gray pope, the black pope, and the other pope? I'm not quite sure. There's also, what is it? The 13. I'm trying to remember. I have it here somewhere. The private organization set up, right? So the Round Table, is it the Club of Rome, the Bilderberg Group, the United Nations, the Trilateral Commission, the Royal Institution of Internal Affairs, the Council of Foreign Relations? Here we go. Who has decided our civilization? Well, guess what? That's over too. We are deciding right now. So the civilization that I'm wanting to create is the one with the quantum commuting, is the one where we come out of our homes and hug one another. It's where we leave the skyscrapers and we sit down and we meditate and we decide, what do I want to do with the rest of my life? I'm not going to follow the masses. I'm going to consider, what are my thoughts? Because when you follow the masses, you're following someone else's destiny. Remember that. It's someone else's destiny. So this quantum financial system is unconventional. It's non-typical monetary system. It solves complex problems. It identifies subtle patterns of fraud in financial transactions. These supercomputers operate with quantum algorithms, creating multi-dimensional computational spaces. I can't pronounce things sometimes. Quantum processings need to be very cold, apparently, about 1/100th of a degree above absolute zero. See, now that's something right now. Now, I didn't know any of this. That's why I went down the rabbit hole and I'm sharing it with you. And this is just a little tiny bit of information. So these quantum processors need to be very cold. Now, I did discover that IBM has been working on this. Now, I know that there's other businesses that have also been working on this quantum computing, because I believe that there already is a system in place. So to avoid decoherence or retain their quantum states. Now, here are some common words you're going to be hearing. These are some names, words associated with quantum financial system, quantum computing. Superconductors, qubits, entanglement, and probabilities. Entanglement, qubits, superconductors, probabilities. So just be aware, that's where we're going. That's what's happening. Now, before I get on to these aliens in Mexico, dun, 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 the aliens in Mexico, which some of my friends who aren't so much into the extraterrestrials contacted me and said, Mary, what's going on with those aliens in Mexico? Tell me all about it. And I said, oh my gosh, I haven't been paying attention. I have to look that up. I have to figure out what happened. I have to find out what's going on. Before we get into that, let me just share with you for one quick second the debt clock again. So right now it says the U.S. national debt is 33,102,476,9 or 290, 387. Seriously? What is that? Is that 33 trillion? 33 trillion? Is it 33 billion? No, I think it's 33 trillion. And what's interesting is BRICS was added to this. Now, this is not the whole picture of the debt clock. I couldn't it didn't take it all because it's large. I suggest you all look at this. You can find it, search for it, the US debt clock. And these numbers are not stationary. These numbers are moving all the time. So now BRICS has been added to this in the last 48 hours, which tells you what? This is seriousness. So we are about to change our financial system. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. We are awakened now, aren't we? So BRICS, it says BRICS GDP to gold ratio is 135,047 per ounce. Dollar to gold ratio, 10 years, 9,353 per ounce. What am I suggesting? Well, I'm hearing a couple of things. I'm hearing gold and silver, and I'm hearing XRP. I don't know what XRP is. I'm not really sure. I'm not wise on XRP. Got to look into that. Oh, who is this? Anastasia. Hello, 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 Anastasia. Hello, hello, hello. Let me see. What is everyone saying here? Got to see this. Hope you like the video and subscribe. I'm telling you, Lightning, you're really on a roll here. Bob Hardy. Money has become artificial. Score like a computer playing Donkey Kong. They have most people fooled through sadly. Okay. My supernatural powers will far succeed most cults. Love that. There'll be no matter for me or the other race. I would look at the tools and stuff pioneers headed west and invest in real tools. Yes. Yes, Bob, very true, but I'll overthrow what's artificial related to what's rigged. Hello, Anastasia. I'm into crypto because of BRICS related to Bitcoin. All right. Well, you know what? Thank you, everyone, for sharing. I need that. I need some input. And I don't know everything. I know that what I'm giving to you is that we all have psychic abilities within us. We all have to take a look out into the physical reality and then have discernment. Together, we have to love one another. We are all connected, every single piece of nature. You see those trees outside my window? Can you see that? We're connected to that. We're connected to the 5 elements: earth, water, air, fire, and ether. Ether is out in the atmosphere beyond the clouds. They don't talk about ether. It's a real thing. That is how we're going to have free energy, Tesla energy. Okay, so before we get on to the aliens, dollar to gold ratio in 10 years, I said 9,353 per ounce. Dollar to gold ratio 5 years, 12,632 per ounce. Dollar supply now, negative 790, comma 616, comma 668, comma 00. So BRICS was added to the debt clock in the last 48 hours, which tells you that we are headed into a new financial system. Now, the financial system is BRICS. Is that going to be related to the quantum financial system? Is that the white hats? Is that good has prevailed over evil? Well, we know it has. And I'm going to mention angels, bringing that up. Angels are beings of light. They come from the heavens. Is this Archangel Michael? Are you saying, angels, hello, I'm having a tough time. Can you lift me up and carry me through the situation? I'm suggesting it. Personal experience, and you know me. I've had a few near-death experiences, one at the age of 2.5, the other when I was 6. I almost died both times. Really, my last breath. I believe there was divine intervention. I was spared. I was supposed to live. I was supposed to live. And so when I had my near-death experience, my NDE, I saw light. I was greeted. And this is why I believe angels exist. Now, maybe they aren't looking exactly like this. Maybe they don't necessarily have wings and halos like in fine arts. But I'm going to tell you right now, they are an energy. They are pure beings. Maybe you feel a brush across your face, a twinkle in the side of your eye. Maybe you hear a message in your ear to look out for something. Today, I had a situation where I heard something, I listened, and it was a message. And it was to prevent something bad from happening to me. So be aware. Don't be one of those individuals who were like, oh, that's nothing. That's my imagination. It's not. It's a real thing. It's coming from another source. You can tell when you receive information. Maybe it's via spirit. Maybe it's via an angel. Maybe God, Jesus Christ. Maybe it's from another being that's living. Maybe it's an extraterrestrial. It's going to feel like a sensation that's running through your system. So they come from the heavens to earth. They're here to protect humanity. There's nine ranks of angels. There's 9 ranks of angels. The closest to God, the ones that are closest to us, are our guardian angels. We are born each with minimum of 2 guardian angels that are right here, right by us. So anytime you want, you can say, hey, help. I need some help. Can you help me? Or thank them. Thanks for all the help. So there's guardian angels, archangels, principalities, virtues, powers, dominions, thrones, cherubim, and cherubim. Cherubim is the closest to God. And they're immortal, and they ascend and descend on a staircase from heaven. All right, it's time. Here we are. Now, we are 5 minutes away from the 1 hour mark, but before we get on to psychic phenomenon, we are going to get into these aliens in Mexico. Aliens, extraterrestrials. Whew. Now, they're coming off planet, correct? Now, are there aliens actually communicating with humans right now? Allegedly, I've heard, yes, that we have contracts with specific extraterrestrials, and we've had contracts. Our leaders, I believe it was beginning with Eisenhower, made contracts with extraterrestrials to live here. Are they living below the earth? Not sure. Just throwing it out there. It's a possibility. So these aliens, I'm going to show you a picture because, like, you know, I love love when we have some kind of picture to look at. So this is one of the pictures of aliens. What does this say? It says, what you're not now related to. Okay. All right. So here we go. Here is one of the aliens that was discovered. Now, was this just discovered yesterday? No. But for whatever reason, and I find it a little peculiar, that this is just being mentioned now. Now, are we going to experience an alien invasion? Are we going to have Bluebeam, Project Bluebeam, which is a holograph or hologram of some kind of war with aliens, and then the leaders of America or their nations save us from these insect aliens or whatever they are, and then we're like, thank you, we believe in you. Is that a made-up thing? Because I think we've already been invaded by aliens. Interestingly enough, this happened on September 14th. I mean, well, it was published, but it actually happened on September 12th, which was not that long ago. Today's the 24th, so it was 12 days ago. It was presented to the Mexican Congress by Jamie Masson. Now, we know there was 3 whistleblowers. What was it? Maybe 6 weeks ago, 8 weeks ago. Grouch was the main whistleblower, and he was an agent for the U.S. He was a military agent who was involved in a lot of black projects, and he testified about aliens, which tells me if they're telling us about the aliens in the mainstream media, why? What is the purpose of that? There's a purpose behind everything they do. So these aliens were shared in the Mexican Congress, and they were non-human corpses, and they were tiny, like little, like this big. And there was quite a few of them, but he showed, this man, Jamie, showed these little mummified aliens. Now, to me, I want to say they look like this. These guys are looking a lot like these guys in the face. Very similar. I just saw this picture. I have a bunch of pictures. And I said, that looks very similar to these mummified aliens that in Mexico. Okay. They were presented to the Mexican Congress. They had 3-fingered hands, elongated heads, corpses. Now, these were not just founded 2 days ago, 3 days ago, 10 days ago. These were from 2017, but now they're presenting it, which I begin to wonder, why now? Why now? They were discovered in Peru, Cusco, Peru. Allegedly, they're up to 1,800 years old. So these little aliens, this big, there was basically a little army of them. So on September 12th, which was a Tuesday, they were presented fossilized, they're mummified. And we know all about these US UAPs, the unidentified anomalous phenomenon, aerial phenomenon, really known as UFOs. But they changed the name of it. I don't know why. To take away the stigma, but it's really UFOs. And we know the UFOs that crashed, the whistleblowers spoke about the UFOs that were crashed, had alien bodies that were retrieved. They were non-human, some alive, some that had died. So this is considered, it says, this is the first time extraterrestrial life is presented in such a form that I think there is a clear demonstration. This is what he says, that we are dealing with non-human species that are not related to any other species known to the world. That's what he testified. Who is this guy? Where did he come from? I'm going to read your comments in 1 second. So they were in a glass case. They were highly preserved. And I believe this to be true. This is basically, to me, I tell you about signs. I have signs. I see signs out in the physical reality and I receive them within me. If you start to clear away a lot of these attachments that you had, and what do I mean? How many of the thoughts that you have are your own? And how many are those that you've heard over and over and over and again? Like, guess what? 9 to 5 job, 3 square meals a day. Who made that up? Who says we have to have 3 meals a day? Maybe we have 10 meals a day. Maybe we have 1 meal a day. Who made that up? That is an attachment. That is a belief system. We are now creating our own belief system because we are building this new civilization where you go out into the streets and all those roads that are paved are going to have trees growing up through the pavement. We're going to maybe be flying through the air in a vehicle, anti-gravity. That's where we're going. So this is a sign of things to come, a change. It's a change. Okay, what does this say? This says, Fix, I'm interested to email you to connect sometime and increase your own wealth. Sorry, we talked. I have so many stories of angel intervention before we censor. Yes. Hi, Jenny. Thanks for joining us. Anyone who's joining us, I hope you like the video and subscribe. I am so grateful for all of you and your patience, and I will continue to come aboard and be here. And I will not ever stop because I have this pressure that I get when I don't do a video. Now, I did one video this week, and this is basically in the same week too. I started out doing them every day, but I can't because of my job in the Matrix. I'm exhausted, but I'm going to keep going because I love all of you and I want good things for you. All right, so these aliens, I'm almost done. The mummified species, because we're hitting the 1 hour mark. We did hit the 1 hour mark. No, we didn't. We didn't because it was 1:15. Okay, perfect. Or yeah, 1:15. The hearing in Mexico showed these mummified species. They had 2 glass displays. Now, this is the interesting part. Ready? The interesting part was this hearing in Mexico, this debate of UAPs, aerial protection law is coming up. So that is why this man, James Mawson, brought forward these extraterrestrials. There's a protection law. Mexico will be the first nation to formally have a protection law that acknowledges the presence of alien life ever existing on Earth that are not part of our terrestrial evolution. Now, x-rays of these little guys, which apparently were only like this big or only this big, showed that they had, one showed that it had eggs and ovaries, and another showed that they had metals, rare metals, implants of rare metals called osmium, OSMIUM. I also had heard that, and I'm trying to remember where, I think I heard it one of the podcasts I listened to. They said that they had some kind of plate on them that was made of metal as well. Some of them had that. So this is fascinating, interesting, exciting. It's very, very exciting because this means that we are headed into this new civilization. Okay, moving on. I'm just going to show a few pictures and then here's a little chart about the quantum financial system. I don't know if you've ever seen this. And so you can see Nasara Jasara, Q. It mentions things like stellar network, blockchain. It mentions back digital assets, XRP, XLM. Those two I've heard a lot about, XRM, XLP. I'm not really sure about any of this. The Q is the alliance of the military and the white hats. And are we going to each have a quantum computer and a Q phone? I don't know. Okay, let's just hypothetically say that October 4th is not a bad day. It's not something that's setting off this tone, this sound that's going to hurt everyone who's taken medication. Let's just give a hypothetical that it actually is going to be when all of the sudden we have go back to your homes. You have 3 hours. We're going to have 10 days of darkness. They're going to show us documentaries of 3 hours each. And we are going to see all of what has been going on. Basically, behind our backs. Basically, we'll be hearing about all of the evil committed against humanity. And I'm referring to the pedophilia. I'm referring to the Illuminati, the Freemasons, these secret societies that were established long before we realize. Was there Tartaria, this civilization that ran from Russia to the United States? And that's why I have these beautiful buildings, and they existed with free energy. Just saying. And from the 10 days of darkness, then we will move on to this new civilization. We won't have a 2024 election. We won't have leaders. We will have these military tribunals. Have we already had military tribunals? I know I'm asking a lot of questions. I'm just throwing it out there, and maybe something will resonate with you. All right, then. Oh, here's a little, this guy was Boyd Bushman. He worked for Lockheed Martin. Now, Lockheed Martin is the manufacturer of those, I'm not going to say it, what happened in Hawaii that came down from the sky. Because the last time I mentioned it, they sent me some kind of frequency to my head, and then I had headaches, and then I saw all this weird light, and then it just was disturbing. So this man named Boyd Bushman, he's a Texas guy. He worked for Lockheed Martin and Texas Instrument Engineer, and he said he had encounters with aliens at Area 51, and these were pictures that he shared. So there have been some whistleblowers way back when that have shared with us their truth. This is all allegedly. Now, in the last few days, I'm going to show a few more pictures before I get onto psychic phenomenon. In the last few days, this was, I guess this was over Turkey. And 2 days ago, there was another one of these kinds of clouds. This was before an earthquake in Turkey. There was another one of these clouds. And I don't remember where it was. It wasn't in the United States. It was somewhere else. So is there going to be another earthquake? Question. Don't know. Is this a sign? Now, this is I'm kind of flipping around, showing you some pictures. This is a picture taken from allegedly a real extraterrestrial. And they had cut him apart. And they were investigating exactly what he was made of. Very interesting, right? All right, so here we are. We're going to get on to, we're 5 minutes early, but we're going to say it anyway. What does Bob Harding say? A lot of comments, you guys. I love it, love it. The last time they set off the EAS, they found so many funds in prison. Really? I didn't know that. I already know destroy my life now. Start also be stronger than certain aliens out there become supernatural being. Well, you know what? We all have the ability. Now, I want to share with you, because we're going to get on to psychic phenomena. I want to share with you that this DNA blueprint that you have, it's your authentic blueprint that you have within you that is being activated or has been activated, will show you everything you're capable of. Now, when it first activates, when your DNA first activates, you will start to feel like you're losing your personality. Abilities that you had when you were a child that you had little glimpses of, you had little signs of, are now surfacing. You will become more confident. You will feel more at peace. You will discover your mission. You will start to search for home. Maybe you will find your other person, your loved one, your soulmate, your twin flame. You will begin to realize why you're here, the meaning of life, how we're all connected. When you activate, your skill set will basically grow exponentially. For example, personally me, I had these goals that in my mind. I had these places that I wanted to go to, things that I wanted to do, and they just seemed in the future, like I was never going to achieve them. And I kept going, and they say fake it till you make it. And maybe the fact that I'm faking it till I'm making it, plus I'm activating my DNA. And how am I doing that? I'm doing things like I'm meditating, spending time in nature. I'm practicing psychic phenomena. We're going to do one of those in just a minute. We're going to do an exercise together, because that's how you activate. And then I'm feeling more like, you know what? Anything's possible, taking away any doubt. All of this basically is changing me. And I've morphed into this being where I'm no longer fearful of certain things. I am more capable of doing everything that I wanted. Like I believe and I can see it happening. And that's all I'm trying to share with you. You have this ability within you. And I want this for you. Also, by tuning into your heart, and we're going to do that too, by tuning into your heart and discovering exactly who you are, embracing yourself and having self-love, you will activate. And when you activate, maybe you're going to be falling asleep and you're going to have this lucid dream, and you're going to see, it might be you see all different kinds of light colored shapes. You might hear different tones. You might see flashes of information. It might take you to an ancient location. You might receive wisdom, sacred wisdom. This is what's going to happen. And is it going to happen to everyone? If they want it, if you ask for it, you shall receive. So I suggest you ask for it. Ask to be activated if you already have it. So those are some ways of activating, and we're going to do some today. I also want to remind you that you can tune into and listen to, if it's on your television, your computer, or your phone, these frequencies. You can listen to different frequencies, and they will give you positive growth, and they will also activate you. Okay, so if you tune in, you put in 396 hertz. You just put 396 hertz in your computer, and it will give you a little video, and it will give you a sound. I can't play it for you because there's copyright, so I have to tell you. So 326 hertz will remove subconscious fears and worries. Wow. You can take 5 minutes and remove subconscious fears and worries. Sounds good? Okay. Maybe you're not doing all this in one day. Maybe in 5 days you think about it. Maybe in a month. I'm planting seeds here. 432 hertz, peace, spiritual development, calmer. You just type in 432 hertz. Okay, I'm going to run through a few. 528 hertz will heal and repair the body. Sounds good to me. Now we are going into an age of med beds. Have you ever heard of the Rife machine? The Rife machine is a famous machine. And you would hold on to these, applicators, I guess, or these sticks, and it would give you some kind of vibration that would run through your body and heal you. They also have these boards that you stand on. Tesla created one, and he had all his assistants stand on it. And it's giving a certain vibration, and that is healing you. It's the same with these sounds. 639 hertz balances emotions. 4741 hertz, problem solving, cleansing. I'm almost done. 852 hertz. It replaces negative thoughts with positive, and it awakens your intuition. Ta-da! There you go. There's a lot of things here that you can do. Hey, music, thanks for joining us. Okay, 963 hertz will awaken your intuition and activate your pineal gland. Your pineal gland is related to your third eye, right? Okay, so let's get on to some psychic phenomenon, everyone. So before I get on to that, let me remind you, today we covered topics like September equinox, these dates that are coming up. Yesterday was the September equinox, September 23rd. We have coming forward October 4th. I want you to be aware, be alert, turn off your phones before 2:20 because I don't know what is going to happen. And I just want to give you a little bit of warning, just to be prepared. I spoke about the global reset, the financial global reset. We are about to have like the domino effect. You know, you set up the dominoes and you hit one, they all go down, the dominoes. That's what we're going through. First, it's going to be financial, political, medical, educational. They're all going to not be knocked down. And we're going to start over. So be prepared. I also mentioned these aliens, these extraterrestrials, which are a sign that they are going to be sharing more about extraterrestrials in the future. These little guys were presented before Mexican Congress. Okie dokie, here we go. All right. So, have you been practicing your psychic phenomenon? Where's my little chart? Here we are. Now you are going to be like this. The chakras that run through you. You have 7 chakras running through you. And you have 5 outside of your body. There's 7 chakras in your physical vessel. 7. Starting with your root chakra. And I'm showing pictures so that you feel like maybe you learn that way. Maybe you're not even hearing what I'm saying. You like to look at things. We have our earth chakra, and we've spoken about that. It's 12 inches from the bottom of your feet. It's 12 inches. Imagine it's a ball of light. Imagine all of these are balls of light. So you have your root chakra. After that, you have your earth star chakra below your feet, Mother Earth connection. Your root chakra, which is root source, the base of your spine. I refer to this. When we are doing psychic phenomenon, we are imagining the base of our spine going into the earth. So we're grounded, so we can receive information. Because when we receive information from an outside source, and I refer to that as an impression, it's an impression. You're receiving a flash of information. It's your sixth sense. It's a knowing. Now, the more open you are, the more you will receive. I'm not saying this is easy by any stretch. It just takes practice. And after you practice, you become so good at this that you start receiving information. You're like, I don't want any more. Sometimes I say, oh, this is a little too much. And other times I receive it and I say, thank you so much. I just avoided this or that. Maybe I'm hearing what someone else is saying. Maybe I'm saying a question in my mind and then a stranger answers it for me. There's a lot of pros to this, but this is where the world is going. So we are ahead of the game. We are the first timeline arrivals. We are on the fifth dimension. We are the first ones here. It's very, very exciting. Now, those out there that aren't awake yet, like I said, maybe you want to nudge them. Say hello. Hey, what do you think of this picture of this alien? And they're like, oh, I don't know. Maybe you're going to awaken them. You're going to have patience for them. You're going to send them compassion and love. You're going to give them your heart because maybe they had pain that they were going through and they didn't awaken like you did. Maybe they weren't nurtured. So we're going to have open arms for everyone and kindness. All right, so we have our root chakra. Then we have our sacral chakra, which is dwelling of oneself. It's your sexuality. It's where your sex organs are. It's creativity. It's passion. Then you have your solar plex chakra right here, right? It's above the navel. Power center, growth, self-esteem. Your heart chakra, and we're going to do an exercise with that. It's the center of your physical heart. It's about your feelings. It's about your emotions. It's about loving yourself. It's the doorway to divine love. If we don't love ourselves, no one in the physical reality is going to love us. Maybe a mother loves their child and looking out for their child, but really, if you don't love yourself, sorry. The love you're going to get might be very toxic. It might not be really love. Now we have our throat chakra. Now, if any of these are blocked, you're blocking good things from happening to you. You're blocking your destiny. So we are basically trying to clear away anything dark or negative within us. We're embracing it. And by embracing it, you're creating duality. Maybe you say, oh, I have this demon within me. I have this demon, and I'm stuffing it away. When you stuff away your demons, or you say the bad side of myself, what happens? Maybe it creates an addiction. Maybe it turns out you don't love yourself. You have to embrace everything, because when you embrace it, you're basically releasing it. Okay? So your throat chakra is about conveying and expressing yourself. Make sure that you're expressing yourself. Not everyone wants to listen to what we're saying. So you have to pick and choose who your audience is. So your throat is about your expression. It's about your truth. Embrace your truth. Your third eye chakra, which is between your brows and close to your forehead, is about clairvoyance. It's about sensing. It's about knowing. It's about wisdom. It's about intuition. It's your gut. We all have a gut. It's about us accepting what our intuition is. You will be guided by your intuition. Listen to yourself. And then we have our crown chakra, which is our top of our head. It's about our spiritual realms, visions, dreams, spirituality. Now, beyond that, you have your soul star chakra, which is about other dimensions and doorways. Then above that, you have your spirit chakra, which is about spiritual guides, connection to source, God source. You have universal chakra, awakened spiritual evolution, pathway to infinite creation, right? I'm showing everything, aren't I? You have universal chakra. Oh no, I said that. Galactic chakra, communication, ascended masters. It's pretty in depth here. It sounds complex, but it's not. As soon as you wrap your brain around it. And galactic chakra is teleportation, biolocation, time and space. And then divine gateway chakra, the very tippy top, is divine gateway to other worlds and realms. Okay, so be aware of that. Now, why am I bringing this up? Why am I bringing this up? Because that too is part of our chakras, is related to our clairvoyance, because we speak of our third eye, we speak of our heart chakra, we speak about the base of our spine, our root chakra. So they're kind of intertwined, aren't they? Okay, now here, before we get on to our first little exercise, I'm going to remind you of our chart. And here's our chart. So maybe you have a natural affinity for clairvoyance. And you pushed it aside. You had doubt. You said, I'm not psychic. I'm not psychic. I couldn't possibly know that that was going to happen. We all have these gifts when we're born. We are born with these gifts, but we are crushed. And we are told it's not so good to be emotional. It's not so good to speak our voice. Sit in that chair and follow what that lady at the front of the room says. And we're told what to do. Now, if we were practiced telepathy from the time we were born, and we talked about all this, we already would be speaking mind to mind. We wouldn't even be using our mouths anymore. We'd just be speaking mind to mind. In fact, there's a movie that I saw not so long ago, and that's what happened. And they made it in a negative way, the movie. Everyone who was telepathic were attacked, basically. But where we're going is we are all going to become telepathic. And so this is important. So clairvoyance is clear vision, the ability to see people, objects, locations, past and present. So how are you going to activate your clairvoyance? Maybe you're going to take a gemstone. I have a whole box of gemstones over here. And maybe you're going to take a raw gemstone, this clear quartz, and you're going to put it right here on your forehead. And you're going to say, you're going to uncross your legs. You're going to imagine your feet firmly planted in the earth, your root chakra in the earth. And you're going to say, please, I want to activate my third eye, my knowing, my intuition. I want to unblock myself. Maybe you're going to tap that spot. Maybe you're going to circle it with your finger. You're going to ask. The most important thing when you're doing any of this activation is to believe, is to have confidence, a willingness. Your willingness, and push away any doubt. I can do it, because you can master at least one of these clear senses, possibly all of the ones that I'm mentioning today. All right, so clairaudience is your clear hearing, and I utilize that a lot. It's the ability to hear things beyond what's going on right here in my physical reality. Your claircognizance, clear knowing, something without reading or hearing about it. Now, everything we're discovering, all of these clear senses, you are knowing without anyone telling you. You're just receiving the information. Okay? Clairgustance, tasting, the ability to taste something without physical contact. Clear smelling. Clairolfactance, clear smelling, the ability to access knowledge through smell. Now, clairsustenance is feeling, and we're going to do that in just a second, which is about your heart chakra, the ability to psychically feel, to receive. Now, if you are empathic like I am, you must master that. Otherwise, you're going to absorb everyone's moods. You're going to go out into the physical reality, and if somebody at the coffee shop is in a bad mood, you're going to feel it. If everyone's thoughts are loud in their minds, you're going to hear them. And so what are you going to do? You're going to imagine light around you. You're going to imagine light. I have a little diagram I'm going to show you. Imagine light. Well, you know what? Forget about that. You're going to imagine when you go into a crowd, like when I was in church this morning, I imagined light around me, white light, a band a foot long. Imagine around you if you're empathic, and that will protect you. All right, so let's do this right now. So what I'd like you to do is, anyone who's dressed, I have to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you, Trident. You're very sweet. Okay. Here we go. So everyone, I'd like you to let go of any tension you have in your body. So you're like a rag doll. You're like a jellyfish. Maybe you close your eyes. Maybe you leave them open. Everything I'm saying is just a healing suggestion. There's no always have to or musts. It's whatever resonates with you. Okay, so we're letting go of any tension that we have. We are in this moment. We are having gratitude. We are imagining our feet firmly in the earth's surface. We're wiggling our toes. We are putting all of our weight in our base, in our bottoms, so that we're not holding anything up. We don't want to be holding or controlling. We want to let go of control, because what information you are going to receive cannot have any tension in your body to receive it. To receive the information, the impression, you have to be relaxed. So it's kind of a form of meditation a little bit, but not really. It's just a relaxation. So we're relaxing, we're letting out a breath, and of course we're going to do some breathing. So we're going to do 3 inhales and exhales, and we're going to, in our minds, do it on a 5 count. So we're inhaling 5, holding 5, releasing 5. We're going to do that 3 times. Okay? Because when we focus on our breath, we're really pushing away any thoughts. We're letting go of any fear. We're letting go of any doubt. Okay, so let's do that together. So we've dropped into our system, into our physical vessel, and we're going to do some breathing. Okay, so I hope you're more relaxed. You've dropped down into your physical vessel. You're pushing away any doubt. You're having concentration and focus. And what I'd like you to do right now is I'd like you to tune into your heart. And when I say tune into your heart, that might mean something completely different to you. It's whatever resonates with you. Tune into your heart. Maybe you're seeing your actual physical heart. Maybe it's a space within you. Maybe it's nothing you can even see. It's just a feeling. Whatever it is to you is perfect. That's all. It's going to be something different to each and every one of us. So you tune into your heart, and you're basically just going to say, you're going to pose the question to yourself, how am I? How am I feeling? And hopefully you have one word, an emotion that comes through. Now, it might not be easy. There might be a lot of layers to get to that question. So just give yourself a minute or a second to come up with the answer. And I'm going to do it as well. I'm going to be quiet. And this is how you're tuning in and you're connecting. Okay, so I came back with, I'm hopeful. I feel very hopeful right now because, as I've shared with you, I have a lot to look forward to. I'm bringing a lot of what I want here in this moment. Okay, so there we go. All right, so hopefully you came up with some kind of one-word emotion. Maybe you're saying, I have anxiety. Maybe you're saying, I'm super happy. Whatever it is, accept. Accept your truth. Because when you accept your truth, you're basically unblocking yourself. It's like go with the flow. In the last 2 weeks, I had a lot of rough patches. And I was fighting. It was like I was in a fight. I'm going to win this. And then finally, I'm like exhausted from fighting through my life. And I just said, that's it. I give up. I'm going to accept it. And as soon as I accepted it, I was going with the flow. Because maybe I don't know everything. Maybe there's something out there better than what I realize. All right, so now let's do one of our exercises. So we are going to walk through quickly the little steps that we just had to relax. And then we are going to tune into one of our clair senses. Maybe it's your hearing, maybe it's your clairvoyance, maybe it's your feeling, maybe it's your sense of touch, maybe it's your smell and taste. Whatever you sense comes naturally. And then I'm going to give a suggestion and see what comes through. Okay? So we are dropping down. We're a rag doll. We're letting out a breath. We're reminding ourselves of the breath. You're inhaling and exhaling. We're pushing away any doubt. We're in our physical vessel so that we're not holding any tension. We have concentration and focus. And I'd like you to tune into one of your senses. For me, it's my hearing and my feeling. Now, if you try and nothing comes through, pick another clear sense. All right, so I'm going to focus on my hearing and my feeling. And now I'm going to give you a suggestion. And maybe it's a wildly crazy suggestion, but who knows? Maybe you receive something. You have to push away any doubt and have acceptance. Okay, so my suggestion is I'm hearing beyond the walls of the room as far as I can hear. And I am going to hear, and my suggestion is that I am meeting an extraterrestrial. That might be hard for you. You might say that's craziness. Try it. I am meeting an extraterrestrial. That's the suggestion. I'm going to be quiet and see what I receive. Okay, so I received something. What did you see? Be like water, Bruce Lee. I feel an air supply. Really? You're so funny. Okay, I received, when I do this, I've shared with you what I have to look down to receive the information, and then it's basically I'm looking down, and then it opens up, and then a flash of information comes through. So I saw some little extraterrestrials, and maybe they looked more like, I think I have a picture of one. Hold on, family. They looked a little bit more like this, like a gray alien type, but they were little. And there wasn't just one. So I saw them, and then I went to feeling because my first reaction was fear. Interesting, wasn't it? Even though I've accustomed myself to understanding extraterrestrials and aliens, where I've been used to this idea of them, I still had this fear when I saw them. And so I went to my heart to go to feeling. And then I basically felt and heard. They didn't speak to me. I basically wanted to follow. They wanted me to follow them. And we were on a grassy plot of land, and there were over 50 of them, and they were walking away in a direction, and they wanted me to follow them. But it wasn't negative. They weren't negative. They were good grays. And I received that they were basically confused. It wasn't like they were harmful. I don't know if anyone else received anything. Did anyone else receive anything about the extraterrestrials? Your voice sounds gentle and good. Thank you. You saw an alien when you were, oh, really? You saw an alien when you're 6 years old? Wow. Yeah, I had, you know what they call it like this. They call them contactees. So you are a contactee. You can be an external contactee, which is when you have an encounter in the physical reality with an extraterrestrial, or you see a spaceship, or you're an internal contactee where they contact you telepathically. I'm a contactee telepathically, which I've been contacted by hundreds of different extraterrestrials. There's many, many species. And somehow I reached a frequency that I can understand what they're saying, which you can alter your frequency. And I hear a lot of tones in my ear. It's like when you pick up a shell, one of those conscious shells, or the shells that look like what's that called? They swirl. I'm trying to remember what that kind of shell is, and you put it up to your ear and you hear a sound. That's what it kind of sounds like when I go to sleep at night. And then I tune into that, and then I go to another dimension. Okay, so you're considered a contactee. Okay, now before we go, because we're an hour and 41 minutes in, I'm suggesting that we practice on our own, because it's only going to benefit us. There's a lot of benefits to this. You will find that you can problem solve quicker. You will have an internal guide. You will begin to trust yourself more. You will be able to achieve every single thing that you want in the physical reality. You will quantum leap all of your future right here in this moment, like we did earlier in the video. And I'm going to suggest, and I know you say, I don't know if I want to do this, but try it, because we want to bring more light onto the earth. We do. Like maybe you want to take this picture, imagine this picture of all the continents, and you want to wrap light around it in this moment. Okay, so maybe what we'll do is we're going to rub our hands together, take it away from our bodies, because we're creating a ball of energy, a ball of light. We're separating our hands. Now you should feel some kind of little vibrations on your palms, because it's energy. You are creating energy. Now, if it's too difficult, you don't want to cup your hands, you just keep them like this, and you feel some kind of vibrations on your palms, that's fine. Or you want to cup your hands, and hopefully you still have. Now you are creating a ball of light. Now we all have this energy field that's surrounding our bodies. So when we do this, when we move this light, and you say, oh, there's nothing there. There is. It's energy. You are energy. My words are energy. Just because we can't see it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. When you activate your clairvoyance, your third eye, you will see in other realms. They exist. Our eyes only see what, 1% or 2% of what's going on in the physical reality. You don't see all the harmful frequencies coming off your phones, coming off your routers, coming from the cell towers. It exists. So I'd like you to bring this ball of light all around you. Now, maybe you do this with a friend and you clear their space with your ball of light. It's positive. It's only positive. Now, I'd like you to imagine, close your eyes. I'd like you to imagine circling the globe, our Earth, with the ball of light. So you're imagining that you are bigger than this globe, bigger than this Earth, and you are surrounding the Earth with light, because you will anchor into the Earth, and you will be sending the Earth light. Now, as I'm doing this, My hands are feeling like the frequency on my palms is more powerful. Now it's going to my wrists even. You're capable of this. So I'm imagining that this light that I'm holding is going around the earth. I'm circling it with my ball of light. And maybe you have to physically do it. I have this map right in front of me. Maybe you have to imagine it. Whatever works for you. It's a suggestion. Okay, anyone who's joining us, I hope you like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm so grateful. Let me grab Elsa, even though I'm going to wake up Elsa. Elsa, come say goodbye. Come say goodbye. Elsa needs a grooming. I know she does. She's over here. She was right here with us this whole time. Little baby Elsa. So Elsa is saying, we're both wishing everyone to have a wonderful day. And I will be back again this week. We want good things for you. And I'm circling light around you. You're in the center and you're making a wish. And so I'm imagining a band of white light circling you. And you're making a wish, whatever that is you want, right? And you're believing in it. And I'm circling it 3 times around you. You can do this yourself. You can be spinning one way and the light is spinning another, and you're creating an ancient vehicle called the Merkaba. I'm sending it to you. All right, everybody, have a great day. Hope you liked the video and be well. I'll be back. Elsa is she is. We love Elsa. Everyone be well. Thanks, Barbara. You want to learn to navigate. Find the... Wait, what is this you're writing to me? Bob Hardy? Learn the mystery of the sea time. I'll have the power to grant wishes. Yes, you will. We all have the power. We are all going to meet and come together. All right, everyone. Have a great day. Love you all. Bye.